This is CBS 46 News at 6. Getting results.
Breaking at 6. No crowds will watch this year's NCAA basketball tournament, the men's tournament, including the Final Four, held right here in Atlanta at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
The NCAA released a statement just a short time ago speaking out against having a large crowd watch any game, citing coronavirus concerns. CBS 46 Sports Director Fred Khalil joining us right now with more. Fred?
Well, you know, guys, a source close to the situation is telling me that, yes, today's decision came down with an abundance of caution, that the NCAA, though, wants to leave itself some wiggle room, if you will, in case there is a drastic change in this situation. So they will review the coronavirus situation week to week. And if things get better, a lot could change. An important point, since we've got the Final Four here in Atlanta in about a month or so.
The economic impact is, we can't even
huge. But I think that the big key is, though, they're going to go week to week now and see if it changes.
Right. All right, Fred, thank you. Of course, we're going to hear more from you later coming up in the show. Well, the announcement, as we mentioned, does have huge financial implications. Last year's event was held in Minneapolis, Minnesota. According to the Minneapolis Star-Tribune, the Final Four brought in $143 million worth of business to the city. We do have more breaking news, this time out of Cobb County, a positive coronavirus test at Kincaid Elementary School in Marietta.
School officials have not said whether or not this is a student, teacher, or any other kind of employee. Because of this positive test, the school will be closed for 14 days beginning tomorrow. And the reopening date for a Fulton County Middle School closed due to the coronavirus is pushed back. Woodland Middle School in East Point will now open on March 23rd. The school was supposed to reopen March 17th. Tomorrow, almost all Fulton County schools except for Woodlands Middle and Bear Creek Middle will reopen. The district shut down schools for 2 days after a teacher tested positive for the coronavirus. That teacher split time at Bear Creek Middle School and Woodland Middle School.
In the meantime, President Trump says he plans to deliver a prime-time address tonight on the federal response to the coronavirus pandemic. According to his most recent tweet, that speech will happen at 9 p.m.
Georgia is getting more than $14 million to fund its fight against the coronavirus. The money is coming from the Centers of Disease Control via the Department of Health and Human Services. It's part of more than $560 million sent to several states caught up in the coronavirus outbreak.
And still more news to tell you about. More breaking news. One of the country's largest St. Patrick's Day parades is canceled. Savannah is pulling the plug on its annual parade and festival. That event was set for next Tuesday. Again, the St. Patrick's Day parade in Savannah is canceled.
Right now, a fresh batch of cruise ship passengers scheduled to be tested for the coronavirus are headed to Metro Atlanta.
Well, they are arriving from California and they'll be housed at Dobbins Air Reserve Base in Cobb County. CBS 46's Jamie Kennedy is live near the base tonight. What did you learn, Jamie?
Well, Tracy, just about 10 minutes ago, I spoke to a family member of one of those passengers, and she said that police have now arrived to the buses that are waiting there on the dock, ready to escort passengers to the airplane. Now, they said a doctor also came on board one of the buses, so they're hoping that they can leave anytime soon. Now, Cobb County officials telling us a little bit earlier that they're expecting the plane to arrive here behind me at the Dobbins Air Base, but somewhere between 9 and 12. You can see the building behind me over my right shoulder. That is where the current passengers are being housed and where these new passengers will be housed as well. Now, I spoke to that passenger that I just briefly mentioned before, and she was saying that they are still waiting obviously to board that plane, but she said it has been frustrating but understands that it is a very fluid situation at the moment. This morning passengers were put on a bus and then taken off without reason, some even refusing to get back on the ship. 2 buses have now loaded up and passengers are hopeful but say information has been very limited.
Have you been happy with the amount of information being given to you about the situation?
Not really. I think it could have been better. So we're just, I'm just resigned to, I'll just see what happens.
So now we are tracking that flight to see exactly when it will come in. But yesterday as well, Cobb County officials saying that the passengers that have already arrived here have not been showing any symptoms of the virus and have not tested positive for the virus as well. But now that's the latest live in Marietta. Jamie Kennedy for CBS 46 News.
Jamie, thank you. Right now, a Metro Atlanta Waffle House employee and potential coronavirus patient is the first person at Hard Labor Creek Hard Labor Creek State Park in Morgan County to be quarantined for the coronavirus. Governor Brian Kemp and other state officials designated the Morgan County Park as the best place for coronavirus patients. CBS 46's Brittany Miller is getting an exclusive look inside that site tonight from the sick Waffle House employee. What did he show you, Brittany?
So, we spoke over FaceTime. I did ask the question so many of us want to know at this point. How did you go from cooking at Waffle House to being isolated with the coronavirus? Joey Kemp says he worked at Waffle House once in the last 2 weeks. That was on March 1st. He says he went to the emergency room later that week, was admitted, and then diagnosed with pneumonia. Kemp told me he tested positive for coronavirus on Monday and was released from the hospital later that day. He then arrived at Hard Labor Creek State Park to be quarantined Tuesday night. Kemp says he has no idea how he contracted the virus and doesn't know how long he's had it. So I had to ask him if he could have infected other people at Waffle House while he worked there.
And I wash my hands constantly at work. So the chances of people contracting it from me at Waffle House, minimal. At best, minimal. Because I was constantly washing my hands. I constantly have to wear gloves.
Now, Kemp also works for a party bus company. I did ask him if he could have infected any riders there. He says he hasn't worked there in the last 2 weeks. I'll have an update for this story on CBS 46 News at 11 and Peachtree TV at 9. Brittany Miller, CBS 46 News.
Brittany, thank you. We do know the coronavirus is especially deadly to older adults, as well as those with compromised immune systems. In less than 10 minutes, how Metro Atlanta nursing homes full of people I just described are preparing for the virus.
Coronavirus concerns are forcing Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms to postpone her annual State of the City address. The city made the decision after a request from its sponsor, Atlanta-based Coca-Cola Company. Now, according to the city, the mayor's office is working on a way to safely update all citizens on Atlanta's growth, as well as new policies in the pipeline. Well, Governor Kemp is asking lawmakers to add $100 million to the state budget.
That money will be used to fund the fight against the coronavirus. Tuesday, the House voted and approved a version of the budget yesterday that did not include this money. So far, no word from lawmakers on whether or not they will honor the governor's request. Also, under the Gold Dome tonight, advocacy groups pleading with Governor Kemp to consider closing the state house because of the coronavirus. These signs are posted all over the state capitol. They remind people to be nice to one another, but to refrain from shaking hands. Tuesday, the House suspended its PAGE program until further notice. It also announced limited access to the House floor. You may not know this, but early voting is going on right now in Georgia ahead of the March 24th presidential primary. But because of coronavirus concerns, Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger is reminding elections officials across the state to keep voting machines clean. Raffensperger sent out information earlier this week, included in that were ways to sanitize touchscreens, those voting machines, as well as reminding poll workers and the voters to wash their hands.
Right now, there is no vaccine for the coronavirus, but that doesn't seem to matter to people looking for some kind of protection against it. Metro Atlanta doctors say they are seeing more people come into offices asking for the flu shot. Now, the shot is not a coronavirus vaccine, but some people say some kind of shot is better than none.
We measure the flu shot sort of consistently and our ability to give the flu shot. This year, we've had a little bit more uptake.
Well, doctors are trying to keep people calm, saying even if someone does contract the coronavirus, in the vast majority of cases, it will be a mild to moderate viral illness.
The coronavirus is also keeping people away from donating blood. Tonight, the American Red Cross is pleading with healthy donors to literally roll up their sleeves and help. Blood drives across Metro Atlanta are being canceled. At last check, 125 had to be called off due to coronavirus concerns. Red Cross workers say their process is safe for everyone involved.
The American Red Cross and our collection staff, they're doing everything they can to keep donors safe, including, wearing gloves, wiping down the seats after and before a blood donation, keeping those seats apart.
If you have recently traveled to a state with a high population of coronavirus patients, the American Red Cross says you should wait 20 days before donating blood.
DeKalb County CEO Michael Thurman is one of many officials hosting a virtual town hall tonight about the coronavirus. It all starts at 7 o'clock. It can be streamed on Facebook. The meeting was moved from Rehoboth Baptist Church because of coronavirus concerns.
Well, what goes up must go down. That's the song being sued, or rather being sung tonight on Wall Street. Losses across the board. We are officially in a bear market. That bull market that we had for 14 years or so, it's over, including a more than 1,400 drop for the Dow Jones. Infection control, guidance for visitation and prevention practices. That's what the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services say nursing homes need to be thinking about.
Well, the elderly are especially at risk for coronavirus. CBS 46's Melissa Stern shows us that they're doing everything possible to prevent the transmission of the coronavirus.
The goal is to keep the virus out of elder care centers across the country, meaning you might need protective equipment before visiting, or there might be restrictions on visiting at all.
We got Clorox wipe, Lysol spray. I had the facility manager. She wiped down all the doorknobs, the door handles.
Sylvia Dennis Ray, the executive director of the Alzheimer's Service Center, deals with very vulnerable patients.
We sent letters home with all of our clients, informing the caregivers that we're doing everything to protect them.
It's essentially an adult daycare, and on top of their regular cleaning practices, they're doing even more as an extra precaution.
We want to make sure that we keep all of our clients and our employees safe.
Dennis Ray says they've put signage up following the guidelines sent by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. It was sent to nursing homes and senior care facilities to help control and prevent the spread of the virus.
Have you engaged in international travels within the last 14 days? Do you currently have any signs and symptoms of respiratory infections such as a cough, fever, or sore throat? And had any contact with someone under the investigation of COVID-19? If they answer yes to any of those questions, sorry, you can't visit us at this time.
And they have strict rules for employees and clients feeling sick or have any flu-like symptoms.
And if they are sick, please keep them home.
Melissa Stern, CBS 46 News.
We have a quick recap tonight on what we know about the coronavirus at this hour. The World Health Organization is declaring the fight against the coronavirus as a pandemic. The declaration comes as more than 1,000 Americans have tested positive for the virus. It's also responsible for 631 deaths in Italy.
Well, here in the States, the coronavirus is responsible for 31 deaths. A 1-mile containment area has been set up in the New York City suburb of New Rochelle. The National Guard will deliver food to homes as well as help clean public spaces.
Here in Georgia, the number of confirmed coronavirus patients remain at 6. However, the number of presumptive patients now stands at 16. The newest presumptive cases are from people in Charlton, Cobb, and Fulton counties.
There is a lot to unpack on the coronavirus and so much new information coming out by the minute. CBS 46 is releasing daily coronavirus updates. We've put them all on our streaming app as well as through our Alexa news update as well.
And we've got showers moving through, nothing strong or severe, although we did have some nasty storms over Alabama. Haven't seen any of that over Georgia, although we are getting a little bit of thunder and lightning south of Athens. Here across northern Fulton County, northern DeKalb, and portions of Cobb, a few sprinkles. But this is really the next little batch moving in from Alabama. This will move east. So although most of you now in the clear from the rain in Metro Atlanta could see a few more showers tonight. So definitely keep that in mind if you do have evening plans. Hartsville-Jackson International did have some delays as those storms moved through, but I am happy to report everything is on time now and things look beautiful outside. 63 degrees, picked up a quick 1/4 inch of rain. We got that really within the hour. And just as quickly as it moved in, it has moved out. We could see a few more storms early tomorrow morning and some rain is possible. So early tomorrow morning, definitely grab that umbrella. We do have a 40% chance of rain tonight, mostly spotty as it remains mild. Tomorrow morning, there's that chance of a few light showers during the morning commute. Then we get a break. Most of the afternoon will be dry. Then areas north and east of I-85 could see a few more showers as we head into the late afternoon and evening. So not out of the woods as far as rain goes tomorrow. tomorrow, but definitely rain chances will be fairly low. Only a 20% chance of rain in the afternoon, 30% chance of rain in the morning, and it will be warm. We're getting up to 74 degrees tomorrow afternoon. That is 10 degrees above average for this time of year. We're going to keep it unsettled. So although we're not going to see all day rain every day, we have at least a chance of rain over the next several days. The highest chance of rain arrives on Sunday. So as far as Friday goes, don't worry about any outdoor plans, looking pretty good with isolated rain in the forecast. Saturday looks good too, with only a 20% chance of rain as we get up to the upper 60s. By Sunday, that's when more rain moves in, a 60% chance of showers. A quick little cool down on Monday with warmer weather back in the forecast Tuesday and Wednesday.